Okay.
Okay, hello everybody for the Global Mental Health class. As I told you, I am so excited to have a guest speaker. This is a mentor of mine, and we had to record it because he's all the way in Nigeria and the time zone is very different. And there's no way I could ask him to be up in the middle of the night for our class at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So we decided to record this interview. I am so excited to have my professor, I call him Prof, my mentor. You'll hear all about the story, but Professor Shyngle Balogun, esteemed professor of psychology, administrator, researcher. He has produced many PhDs throughout Africa. And I met him 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago in Botswana. So we're going to tell a little bit of the story, but I wanted to just welcome you, Prof, to my class. This is a global mental health class, and uh, we are exposing the students to the world outside of the USA. So from a mental health perspective, but also research in the whole field of psychology. So I thought you would be great. So welcome, Prof.
Thank you, Nick. It's a pleasure to be with you on air. We met actually about December 2012,
Yes.
and I left Botswana 2013 May. So that's almost 10 years ago now.
Yes.
And it's been a wonderful thing that I follow you up all around the place. And you've been a source of motivation and encouragement to me to do what I know how to do best. I thank you for carrying on the flag. Uh, from time to time, we do chats on Facebook to say, "I like what you are doing," and keep it up. You are what you are, always wanting to achieve something, one thing or the other, and you give it all. This is what I know you for. Congratulations. Let me start by introducing myself. I am Shyngle Balogun. I was born about 62 years ago. To be precise, 4th of August, 1961. That's when I was born. Well, I went to University of Ibadan, or I had all my degrees at University of Ibadan. The first degree was psychology, general, and the second degree was MSc in industrial organizational psychology. While my doctoral thesis, we call it thesis here, I don't know what you call it there, over there. Is it dissertation that you call it there? In what we call applied experimental social psychology. I got my PhD in 1991 May. Just to summarize the whole thing, I actually accidentally found myself in psychology because the course I was admitted to study at University of Ibadan was economics. But there's something we have major course, minor course. My major was economics and my minor was psychology. So I attended 2 classes in psychology. And wow, I was wowed. I was wowed. And then there was, in one of the classes, behind one of the classes is the psychology lab where they were doing rat experiments. And that will be the first time I will see albino rats. And completely, I was intrigued. Like, where the local rats is what I see, the black one that you see around the house. But this is where I will be setting my eyes for the first time on albino rats, or what we call oyster rats. Yeah. So I just entered the lab and asked the person, "What are you doing here?" And she said she's carrying out studies using some drugs on rats, which she can extend to human behavior. Instantly, I just went back to the school. I want to change to psychology. That's how that I want to see a living course, a course that I can see and I can measure my contribution. That was how I developed myself in psychology. Well, I had similar experience with my PhD. The year I was rounding up my master's in science, master's of science in industrial psychology, that was the day my own mentor, Professor D.C. Ugwegu, gave his inaugural lecture. And when we are going to give inaugural lecture, they give your biography in form of introducing you. And this man achieved a lot. And before you know it, the first this, the first African this, the first African this, the first African this. And you know, I was still in my younger age then. I was so impressed that how can a small man, this tiny man, achieve this so much? After the inaugural lecture, I went to him and I said, Prof, I would like to be like you. The man laughed that you want to be like me, then go and register for your PhD first before you can be like me. And I went. Fortunately, he was the one that I was assigned to. Or was it the one that was assigned to me to be supervised? So we rubbed off on each other as we went along. The funny thing was that the second inaugural lecture coming from that department was delivered by me, Balogun, 26 years after.
Wow, after you saw him.
So you can see what has come. So I became the first indigenous professor of psychology in my university. Trained within and became a professor there.
Not coming from other universities.
Exactly. And that has been the story in my psychology advancement. Do I regret it? Not at all. I love psychology. If I want to come back again, I will still do psychology here. And in my area, which is what I call applied experimental social psychology, I am applicable to any issue, any issue that has human behavior in mind. And that's what I've been doing ever since. You will recall that when I just told you I got into psychology.
Yes.
And believe me, due to the kind of impact I had in life while studying psychology, I will not say that I am lazy.
Not at all.
I have written so many papers that you know about that.
How many I've done
today? How many do I have?
Yes.
As of today, I have 255 publications, both in books and what do you call it, journal outlets, local and international. I have produced 30 PhD graduates till date. 30. Wow. 30. Yes. Out of these, 6 of them are already professors that I served under in terms of administration. So just to tell you what I have done. And they, my colleagues have been wondering, how do you do it? I said, I don't sleep. You recall that when it is 11:59 p.m., you always tell me that it's not yet 12 midnight. You can still submit your paper.
Yes. We used to be submitting.
You recall that we work by timeline. I'm happy that I have been able to serve as a mentor to so many people. I got to Botswana where we met simply because the dean of the faculty then, the administrator, the chief administrator, I don't know what to call it there, saw my resume and said he would like me to come and help them develop psychology department in Botswana.
Because it was so new, right?
It was relatively new there then. So I got to Botswana and I discovered that there's kind of oppression. You know what I mean. You may explain this better to the class. They are not allowing people to grow. I mean, the colleagues there in that department, they were claiming ownership or being the founding members there. I attempted, or I launched out to recruit them so that we can work together, which we are aware of. But the ruling class, excuse my language, there refused to come to this man that is coming to from nowhere. And then I launched out to attract my junior colleagues, which was a taboo for them there. That can a professor be relating with the junior ones?
So you were like going against the status quo, against the hierarchy. You were supposed
the status quo, exactly. Exactly. I was supposed to stand aloof and not talk to anyone. But that's not the stuff I was made up of. So we eventually formed a group. You remember, research group.
Yes.
And we were about 7 of us or 8. I can't remember the actual number now. And we were always meeting on Fridays. Is it Fridays or Thursdays? Right. Nah. We meet on Fridays in the restaurant of one hotel or the other outside the school campus. So they didn't know what we were doing. They thought we were just joking, just playing around. But you bear me witness to say that we were doing real academic work.
Research, yes.
And I really did enjoy that. We distributed topics to each and every one of us. And we now divided ourselves also under, we made each and every one of us a leader of a topic. If you remember, just pick a topic, be the leader. Some people will work with you. So by so doing, about we were working on about 7 topics together, different topics.
Yes.
And different leaders. I was only providing the idea, the technicalities, and what have you. And before we know it, many of us were with about 7 papers. And that was where the problem started. That how did we do it?
I want to believe it.
No, and we did what they have not been doing before. You are in clinical, I was in social. And there was a time you said, okay, you want us to do something in clinical. I said, that's not my area. But you said you will force me to love clinical, which you did. And we were able to do 1 or 2 papers together in that area. And there was a new area I equally introduced you to and others, which is called traffic psychology.
Traffic psychology. Yes.
You recall us going to the road and measuring road distances and what have you, the use of pedestrians, pedestrian crossing, and so many things. The traffic light, what they call, is it robot they call them there or something?
It's called traffic lights robots.
So we did so many things, areas that they are not familiar with. And my special area of using RAS also, which they did not believe. You can imagine a department or the so-called senior lecturer asking me what has psychology got to do with RAS. And when we actually started from RAS experiment as psychologists. So these were the experiences I had there, but it's been good. One thing I want to say about mentorship, we wrote something about mentorship there as well, is that I don't like supervising or leading just one person. I prefer it in group of 4, 5, 6. We call ourselves the G7 then, group of 7. You remember?
Yes, that was our name.
Where I was coming from, there was what we call the G6, group of 6. I found it more rewarding. Academically.
Why? What is it about?
That's it. This is where you can there's nobody that is an island of knowledge. Even if you are a professor of 50 years and somebody is just starting, there's something that little person or young person can contribute that can change your view. And in my own case, as we witnessed there, we were able to challenge each other deeper in what we are doing because we bring different perspectives. You know, we have forensic psychologists, industrial psychologists, clinical psychologists, social psychologists, all of them coming together to exchange ideas. And we were able to complement one another with our own expertise. Some are good in statistical analysis, some are good in critiquing literature, and some are good with just conceptualizing ideas. This is what I gained from group mentorship. It's like what we call the group therapy or family therapy that you have in clinical psychology.
Yes, group versus individual therapy.
Individual.
Yes.
That's what I like. And that is what I've been using, because it's not only academic that it builds. It builds, I mean, it cultivates family-like lives. If you understand what I mean. Yes. You became my family. We were, you know, we connected socially as well. We were visiting one another and we know everything about one another. So if one person is going down, you can quickly rally around that person and give the necessary social support. Yes. To be able to cope with the workload and what have you. This is why I like this group than individual thing. That is a personal thing. I don't know about others. But I gain more personally from harvesting different experiences of people and navigating this to show them the way to go. I never argued with anybody. I will only provide, if you look at it this way, if you look at it that way, just how do you see this? Let us be able to benefit from what you have. Oh, this could be wrong. Why don't you try this way? That is the way we went about it. And I enjoyed that. And that's what I do with my students also here. When we have a group of 5, 6 people, in my own place, they know it even in my department here. Every Tuesday, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 12 noon, I meet with my PhD students, where we do a lot of critiquing. Yes. Somebody will lead a discussion, present a paper, usually their PhD thesis, an area of their PhD thesis, and present it to all of us, and we begin to, let me say, interrogate the paper. From there, we are able to learn one thing or the other. And before the next person comes, the mistake that someone made in the previous week, he or she will have corrected for that.
When they learn from that, from listening and observing.
When it's presenting or she's presenting our own topic. And from there, we were able to know quite a lot. And this is my secret, that I am able to touch at any topic, any area, is as a result of what I gather from everybody, thinking that I know it all. No, it's the experience of reading from different fields of psychology in a seminar that I made myself applicable to all research. We just discussed about IPV now, what they call intimate partner violence. That's no, I said I was at a seminar. Yes. That's a PhD thesis of someone.
Oh, just
today. Just 30 minutes before we started now, I was at that seminar. That's what we do. They present a departmental seminar where we now give our input. And the presenter and the supervisor now said I should be co-opted into supervising that work because of the different views I brought in, which were not clear today. So it's not that I am in that area. But because of the technicalities involved, I have now been asked to serve as a co-supervisor to that person. This is the way I have been doing my things. As what other ethnic can I say? At present, I am the president of the Nigerian Association of Social Psychologists. You are asking, yeah, and I've been the president for almost 10 years now. It's not that I want to stay long. I have told them, okay, let me step down, another person coming.
And
They refused. No, I should just go ahead. According to them, I'm not saying what I am doing. That I've been giving them the necessary direction and making impactful contribution. I cannot praise myself. I cannot say this is what I do, but my CV will speak for itself.
Yeah.
I have self-developed also, especially during my last sabbatical leave. Where I went through certificated courses like academic planning, use of dashboard, academic dashboard, university laws, strategic planning. So I am a consultant in all these areas now, which was organized by National Open University of Nigeria and in collaboration with National University Commission of Nigeria. So it's a well-developed programs that I have acquired this certificate to be able to practice. It's just to say self-development. This is what we've been able to. I have consulted for companies also, especially in terms of hiring.
Yes.
Big conglomerates where I use what we call aptitude tests to determine certain things. I've done that, but my flair is in research, pure research, which you know.
Yes, designing research, but in all areas, because I'm thinking of all of the different research. You say you're not in clinical, but some of the research we worked on, like using music to help with cognitive tasks. Exactly. Different coping skills. Speaking of violence, we did that study on different conflict styles, and after watching a movie clip, seeing the different conflict styles a person would choose. Of course, the traffic psychology, which I wanted you to tell us how, because when I tell people about it, they're like, I've never heard of that. Like, was that really developed in Nigeria? Like, you brought that to us, but how did you know about traffic psychology?
Okay, thank you. You talked about conflicts, management, music, and what have you. You are the instigator. You say you force me. I use the word force to like clinical. And let me give you the credit for conceptualizing the ones that we did together. You gave the concept. I only provided the technical know-how, especially that conflict management. That the paper has been cited severally.
I see.
Including the music one also, which I have replicated severally in Nigeria after that one. Because that one was so popular, and decided to go in other areas. You can see, check me up and you see the ones I have written there. The traffic psychology was actually started by my Professor Ugbebu, the one that mentored me. He wrote something on obeying rules, traffic rules, especially at T junctions or cross I don't know what to call it, cross section. And that sort of motivated me. So I kept reading in that area. And Botswana gave me, because I have people like you around who needed to be taught something. You know, there was a symposium after that. After the Botswana, but that was the height of it. I so loved that outing. So I saw you people willing to do it, and I sold the idea to you. Traffic psychology is about individual or group behavior in traffic. Anything concerning traffic, mobile, airplane, or water fuel.
Yeah.
Anything that involves automobile. So how do behaviors of people behind the wheel impact on the environment? The environment can be the other car in front, or pedestrians, or water fuel.
Yeah.
My PhD student just did something on distracted driving. People using
the phone.
Mobile phones and water fuel. Yeah. And he did it among young drivers. Those who are just getting their driving license or driver's license just at the point of application.
Yes.
We investigated whether they have done distracted driving before or not. And we were able to find out that's what we call voluntary distracted driving, involuntary distracted driving. That's a PhD thesis. There has been also how to make you a better driver, developing a skill, how to be a professional and efficient, effective driver. The skill that we can use to select those who will perform better as a professional driver. In traffic psychology also here, we have done whether people will obey rules when there is a traffic warden.
Oh, like
or a policeman or water fuel. Yes, you have developed in that area. I mean, in America, where you have gadgets that can capture you, but it's done here manually.
Okay.
So sometimes people flout anything, and well, you know us for what we are. We want to get away, either bribe our way through or harass the policeman. Yeah, nobody there harass any policeman in America there.
Yeah.
But here we can even drag the policeman and fight the policeman to the ground, and nothing happens. So we wanted to see whether people will obey when they see an authority figure, or otherwise. We were able to do that. Well, you know the one about the use of safety belts now. We rarely use safety belts. Yeah, even with penalties. We did that in Botswana, and we're able to see, the beautiful topics. I love my baby even unto death, or the kiss of death. I can't remember all those things that we have done. But that's how I went into traffic psychology, and I thought it would be continued there. We promised the authority then that we will see what we can do, but we didn't stay long.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they are doing there now. I would love to go back to that place and see how we can contribute to improving driving behavior and driving behavior in all its ramifications, and observation of traffic rules and regulation, educating people about road signs and water fuel there. They have high rates of traffic accidents. Yeah, motor traffic accident. So if we can help them, but then I don't know how they are going to do that. I am not totally writing it off, but we are still doing it in Nigeria here.
Yeah.
I just told you, somebody who will be convocating in December, defended in June. Yeah, June this year. Traffic psychology. The one on distracted driving behavior. So I'm still on it.
I still think of Prof every day, because we have a lot of distracted drivers and a lot of, remember we were looking at tailgating and aggressive drivers.
Exactly.
It's more now. We have people aggressive trying to make you go faster. We have people going through the traffic lights. We have a lot of pedestrians getting hit by cars. And I just always think about that research. Like, what are the things that make people do that, and what are the things that can make them do, like, obey the rules? Because now it's really crazy.
Now, we may have to go deeper into just observing it. We will have to ask people, why do they, for those who are arrested, why did you do this? they can be shown the video in order to confirm what they do. Then they can be assisted to recall what led to that behavior at that point in time. And if you're able to recall, then you have what to target to educate people on or change the behavior on. We cannot generalize. You know that.
Yes.
That each person, but when we have a record of what has been prominent causal factors, we can from that area pick on what to address, either in group therapy or whatever. Let me tell you something about shock therapy.
ECT.
When you get involved in traffic, I mean, just watch somebody who is involved in traffic accident and see what what behavior of people will be immediately after watching. When it is delayed for 1 day, 2 days, when it is delayed for 1 week or what have you. But the fact that you see somebody being run over, or a driver hitting a pole or what have you, is a kind of shock therapy that I have seen and I've worked on in the past. Yeah. What I discovered that immediately after they watch, they cool down. There's that immediacy, the immediate effect that will make them not to even, they'll be so careful. But after some time, the memory decays of that thing, and you see them coming back to that. But if we can maybe intermittently be showing them that, exposing them to this kind of shock. Yes. You keep that sense up. And at a point in time, you will have buffered enough the memory that it now becomes part of knowledge for them to be more careful. It takes you and I.
That's your brilliant research mind right there. Like you take any problem and you're able to take it apart to see how to research it and have a better outcome. Like that was I found.
Thank you. Thank you. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Well, you wanted us to know about the way we met. We met. You were there on how do I call the type of employment? I was on a sabbatical leave there. You were there on temporary appointment or what have you.
Yeah.
We happen to be in the same department. And that's it. And you were, let me also equally commend you for your willingness to go through this monkey, if I call it monkey. You humbled yourself, and we got attracted immediately. I was looking at an American coming around, asking me to, Prof, can I be under your supervision? I looked at you then. Me, you under me, or me under you. But then the humility was there. And that's how we just bonded. And recall, the two of us were being victimized for not being citizens of Botswana. Yeah. So we found solace in each other, the two strangers. And we bonded well. You recall our meetings on Friday at the restaurant where we eat fish. I love it. I love the fish. Eating everything together. We love it.
And you used to tell, I told you, I'm still waiting for that book. You used to tell us so many Nigerian, but Yoruba proverbs. And I told you, you need to put it in a book. You taught us so many lessons through the proverbs, and I'm still waiting for that book.
Okay, I'll think about it. What I will ask you to do for me, pick specific areas of life, and I will give you proverbs in that area and their meaning, either in marriage, character building, in therapy, helping people, helping others, so that you know they have thematic areas, and give you the proverb. Because in Nigeria here, especially among the Yorubas, Even the Igbos do it, but among the Yorubas, we use proverb to open a statement, to prepare that person. We use proverb to navigate, and then we use proverb to conclude. And let me tell you that when we say àbọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ là ń sọ fún ọmọlúàbí, tó bá dénú rẹ̀ yóò di odidi. The meaning of what I have just said is a proverb, is that we say a little to a wise person. We don't open up. We don't say everything. But by the time you internalize it, it becomes more profound. You understand it better. That is when you don't want to tell that person that you are doing bad, but you use something to cover it up. Then you now know, when you now reflect on it, so you are talking to me. I now know that I have done wrong somewhere.
Yes.
But half of it is what we told you. But when it comes inside you, it becomes full.
Now, let me tell for the students, think about it. Your clinicians, your therapists, think about this is what we do as therapists, what he just described. You don't just come to your client and say, oh, your life is a mess. You know, you're not harsh. You have to find a way to communicate it so they can take in what you're trying to tell him. So this is why I said your proverbs apply to life on such a deep level. And I'm going to take you up on that, because what you just described, that's what therapy is about. No therapist goes in and just boom, just says everything, because they know the person usually cannot handle it like that. So the goal is to have the person be able to, as you said, internalize it.
Internalize and
How
then
do you
come up.
do it? That's the skill.
Let me complement that with another saying now, that Yoruba will say, if there is a loss of word or of statement, it is word also that we use in finding it. It is a way of opening up rapport during a session. You know, you must first build a rapport.
Yes.
Between you and your client. So Yoruba will say, bí ọ̀rọ̀ bá sọnù, ọ̀rọ̀ la fi ń wá. If a proverb is lost on you, if a sentence is lost on you, you use another sentence or proverb to look for it. So if you have a difficulty in trying to open up, you cannot tell the client, no word is too big that we now use knife to bring it out. It is this mouth that you use. So tell me what is it. Say it, you will not die. We don't have to use any other technique. Mouth to mouth, just talk it. That's when I will understand. It's a proverb.
That is high level communication skills.
That's why I know.
Yes, the knife is like when we come out in aggression and doing all this stuff, but as you said, it's just word to word. That's the method.
Thank you. Thank you. So if you can just give me areas, I will get that. I cannot promise a book because we are not that book friendly here. It's not good adventure, but I can compile and send over to you, and you can be using it. That okay, you will get meanings from it. We have quite a lot of it. Yeah, applicable to any area of your life. If your finances, in your marriage, so many things. Just whatever thing you need, if the ones I cannot supply, I'll go to Yoruba or linguistic department to ask, and then send over to you. That's the only thing I can do in that area. I don't want to promise more than that. But it's nice speaking with you. It's nice.
Prof, I really, really appreciate it. And I know you said, oh, I'm not clinical, but I think everything you said is applicable to the field of psychology, but also us as therapists. And we had another guest speaker who talked about humility. So I'm glad you brought that up. That is something, no matter how advanced we think we are, we have to be humble. We have to be willing to learn from other people. And I just appreciate you. You are going to be a part of my life forever. So
Thank you, ma'am.
the next, whenever I have a class, whenever I have anything, I want you a part of it because I learned so much from you, and I would
Thank you,
love
ma'am.
for anyone that I'm teaching to learn the same lesson.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I really do appreciate. Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we will be in touch.
Amen. I look forward to that. Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate. Okay, bye-bye.